Goosebumps, the scariest series in children's literature. I've taken it upon myself to summarize every Goosebumps story ever told, in the hopes that we all come out knowing a bit more about the things that go bump in the night. Not just the stories, but their adaptations too. So if you're ready, viewer beware, you're in for a scare, as we dive into book number 12. Be careful what you wish for. I referenced this, I believe, way back in Stay Out of the Basement, but this is the second and last book in the original series not to be drawn by Tim Jacobus, because he was on vacation. This cover is actually drawn by Stanislaw Fernandez, who has been around for a long time. He's done a lot of work over at least 50 years. Looking at his work, I couldn't help but notice this one illustration. The taglines for this book go perfectly when you read the cover of the book. Be careful what you wish for. It might come true. It also works if you read the back tagline, which is, make a wish. Next is our UK cover, which shows our assumedly main character inside a broken crystal ball staring at a bird. Will a bird be relevant? Who knows? Next is the 2005 print. Just like Stay Out of the Basement, Jacobus came back to do the illustration. Instead of our main character, we have a witch. I don't know about the bird, but I'm sure a crystal ball has to be important. Lastly is our 2009 classic print, with our witch now inside the crystal ball. Each cover so far has had a character be outside the ball and then inside it. Interesting. This book was released alongside My Friends Call Me Monster, which surprised me because I used to always think the book was connected to Help We Have Strange Powers. I mean, come on, there's a crystal ball, people. Like other Horrorland tie-in reprints, we have some bonus features. No splat stats this time, but we have some wish-related info. A few superstitions on how to make wishes, like throwing coins, shooting stars. I can't say I've ever heard of the one-eyed cat one before. We also get some tips on how to scam people with your own fortune-telling, and a word search based on your reading comprehension. No comics or collections this time, but there is an episode. Time for the summary. Sam Bird is the clumsiest girl in middle school. Just today, her class bully Judith tripped her in class, and she didn't notice until it was too late. Everyone laughed. But she's not just klutzy, she's tall. Even taller than her best friend Corey, and he's the tallest guy here. Shout out to the hit movie Tall Girl. Don't watch it. So all these traits and her last name Bird make her a prime target for Judith and her other bully friend Anna. They call her Stork and tell her to fly away, Bird. So funny. Corey tries to make her feel better by saying that Judith is just jealous, but she's 5'2", athletic, and beautiful. How could she ever be jealous of Big Bird over here? Back to the moment, Sam picks up her notes, and that's when Sharon asks if she's okay, and here is one of the strangest things I've read in one of these books yet. In parentheses, it's written, Sharon is my teacher. We call all the teachers by their first names here at Montrose Middle School. It's so matter-of-fact, and the full name of the school is unnecessary. Also, who the hell calls their teachers by their first names? That's the scariest thing in Goosebumps so far. I did this as a joke in my senior year of high school, and my teachers hated it, except for John. He was cool. Well, despite Sharon seemingly being concerned for Sam, she still makes her copy math problems onto the board. Not only does Sam make this disgusting chalk squeaking sound, but she can't do basic addition. Not to say that Sam is innocent in this, she hits Sharon with a stray by saying her sweater is ugly for no reason. Judith calls out how bad Sam is at adding 4 and 2, and everyone laughs again. Even Sharon. We are 2 in a row for books where the entire school loves bullying one specific student. So, of course, Sam is pissed at Judith and at herself. She manages to keep it cool until home ec. Then it gets ugly. And if you expected things getting ugly to mean Sam talking trash about another teacher, you were right. She likes the home ec teacher, Daphne, but she's fat with a good sense of humor, the one thing that us big-backed bitches even have. There's even a rumor that Daphne makes the students bake sweets, then she just eats all of them after class, and she believes it. This is because since her class is right after lunch, everyone just leaves their baked goods in the room after. Surely aluminum foil, Ziploc bags, or plastic wrap has not been invented yet. Or maybe Daphne makes it so they can't use any. We immediately cut to the lunchroom where Sam and Corey talk about how much Sam wants to murder Judith. They joke around for a bit, bringing up that killing her would doom the Montrose Mustangs, their school basketball team. She's the only good player on the team, and despite being the clumsiest person on earth, Sam is on the team too. It's the fault of Ellen, their coach, who told her to play because of her extraordinarily tall 7-foot frame. I actually don't know how tall she is. The book will not tell me. Corey tries to brown-nose Sam into actually liking herself for once instead of focusing on Judith, but it doesn't really work. Now it's time for home ec, where it all goes down. So here's the lowdown. They were all making tapioca pudding, and of course, it was messy. Sam was doing a great job mixing her stuff, but when she looked from the bowl, There was Judith. She's normally on the other side of the room, but now she isn't. Judith unexpectedly trips on nothing, spilling all of her pudding on Sam's brand new Doc Martens. Sam grabs Judith by the throat and starts choking her. It takes Daphne to split them both apart. Blinded by rage, Sam just runs out to the hall to breathe. She thinks, very conveniently, I might add, oh, if I had 3 wishes, I know what they would be. 1, destroy Judith. 2, destroy Judith. And 3, destroy Judith. Little did she know that that would be the exact plot coming soon. So Daphne makes both girls shake hands and apologize to each other. Judith mutters that it was really just an accident, but
this is a load of barnacles.
Sam shows up to practice later just to piss Judith off some more and to get some exercise. This is when she decides to target Ellen for her quest to read every teacher in this damn school. She's got that weirdly accurate but still stereotypical vibe of the gym teacher or coach who isn't that athletic but still runs the team. I respect the mention that Ellen has the job because it pays extra. Good for her. Practice happens as normal. Sam can run, but not much else. Judith and Anna are the only people who even get the ball, and so on. It's time for their scrimmage, and a few minutes in, Sam and Judith are both going for the ball. In that moment, Sam's arms go out, and Judith's knee goes right into Sam's chest. Sam gets the wind knocked out of her, and she starts to pass out. She knew she was dying. Okay, we all know she's not dead, but she does describe how bad it feels to get the wind knocked out of you, and trust me, I know. It happened to me getting tripped by a kid when I was roller skating years ago. If any of you have any hilarious or maybe traumatizing stories of getting the wind knocked out of you, leave them below. Judith volunteers to be the one to take Sam to the locker room, and she apologizes. Believing it's another lie, which it might be, Sam says nothing. This, funny enough, makes Judith angry, so Sam's judgment might have been correct. She's tired of everything today, so she decides to leave school, riding away on her bike. She reaches Jeffers Woods, which has a bike path, but because it's gonna storm outside, she's gonna go home. Except when she turns around, there's a woman! She seems middle-aged with a pale face and long black hair. She wears a red shawl and a long black skirt. Classic witch garb, but Sam didn't know it then. Instead, she smiles at her. Can I help you? The sky starts darkening and the wind picks up. I'm sure that's a good sign.
I seem to have lost my way.
So yeah, lady, we're at Montrose Avenue. You need to get to Madison Street? Avenue? Boulevard?
Can you take me there? I would be ever so grateful.
Well, who can resist helping out a poor middle-aged lady with the voice of an old woman and hands as cold as ice in the middle of a thunderstorm? So Sam decides to take her there and notes some more of the woman's appearance. She has a purple bag over her shoulder and some cool black boots.
I love the rain. Without the rain, what would wash the evil away?
Awkward, but they keep moving. They finally share names, and the woman is Clarissa.
I'm the Crystal Woman.
She's been walking in the middle of the road this whole time, by the way, and a car starts barreling towards her. Without even caring, she just keeps walking and lets the car swerve out of the way. How strange. And rude. And awesome? They finally make it to Madison, and Sam just wants to go home already and get away from this weirdo.
No, wait, I want to repay you. Tell you what, I'll grant you 3 wishes.
Okay, this woman is crazy. Clarissa has her hand gripped around Sam's wrist and she won't let go. She pulls out this red crystal ball and tells her to make her first wish. Sam really wants to leave, so she decides that maybe if she just makes one of these wishes, she'll let her go. She's blanking, can't really think of anything to say, so she just blurts out, "My wish is to be the strongest player on my basketball team." Even Sam realizes right after that how terrible that wish was, but Clarissa doesn't care. The crystal begins glowing brighter, and when the whole light show is over, Clarissa walks away. Sam can finally go home. What a day. Surely that weird wish business will never be thought about again. But at dinner, Sam is in fact still thinking about it. We actually get the cliche of a big bowl of mashed potatoes where they tell the kid, if you want to get big and strong, you need to eat. You gotta eat more. We also get the trope where that kid in question feeds this excess food to their dog in secret. In this book, our dog is named Pumpkin, which I think is pretty cute. Thinking about her wish again, Sam asks her brother Ron to play some basketball outside. He actually is a good player, so he doesn't really want to play. He says that she's too tall for basketball, which makes no sense to me. Then he says the ground's too wet. Then he says he's got homework. Are we sure this guy can actually play? Of course, Sam's got hopes that the wish actually worked, but no. There's no way a crazy genie woman could just make me the next Caitlin Clark. Or can she? So as it turns out, Sam's actually worse. She can't shoot for her life, she can't get passes, she even face plants into a puddle just trying to pick the ball back up. Anger builds up in Sam. She yells, "I wish you were only a foot tall!" Oh, damn. Did she really just make her second wish already? She can't find Ron in the grass, and then he run towards her. It came true. It's Pumpkin. Somehow the dog just got outside on his own. Ron is also fine. He was just around the house. After a few more minutes of Sam being a girl failure, she decides she should tell Ron about Clarissa and why she thought the wish would let her beat him. But he heads upstairs right before she can say anything. That homework is important. The next day, Judith is still trying to trip Sam at the lunchroom, but she manages to dodge. Sam finds Corey at the saddest table in the room, and he's sad that he has to eat grilled cheese again. After sitting down, Sam feels a disturbance in the force, turning around to notice Judith and her friend Anna standing behind her. They ask if she's going to be at the game later because they actually want to win, and if Sam's there, they won't. In her head, Sam wishes that her wish came true, but she knows the humiliation is coming soon. But little did she know how surprising the game would be. Now, I have no preference on whether these books use first or third person, though Stein really stops using it after the Haunted Mask, except for a few, we'll talk about them. But I really noticed the trend of, yup, that's me. You're probably wondering how I got into this situation, in the cliffhangers. It's a battle of fake-out jump scare, or I never expected what happened next, for nearly all chapters. Not to say it's bad, just Stein's got a very clear style and he will not be changing it. Little did I know that 200 books later I would be so surprised. Or will I? Anyway, back to the actual story. Sam recalls that the game felt weird from the start. Her class is 7th grade, but the kids from the other school are mostly in 6th grade. They seem competent though, so the point of that difference? Unsure. Sam's going into the game feeling dreadful, anxious, expecting mistakes. The only thing to make this more relatable to me is if she ran to go puke before it started. As soon as the game starts, Sam starts going for the wrong basket, and after fixing that, she makes a terrible pass and throws it to a girl from the opposite team. Somehow, Sam keeps getting the ball, and she still keeps playing poorly. The score is 12-2 against them, and it's only been 5 minutes. Suddenly, Judith starts yawning. Then Anna. Every girl except Sam on the team starts feeling tired and sluggish. After 3 attempts, Sam actually scores a point. By the time Judith slumps to the floor, Coach Ellen calls a timeout. Then Sam realizes it. Her wish came true. Only not in the way she hoped. It didn't actually make her a better player. The wish just made everyone else worse. Sam gets angry at herself, finally realizing that wishes always have a twist. She does admit that she enjoys at least Judith and Anna feeling so unwell. As the game continues, Sam is having fun being half player, half cheerleader, mocking the girls with encouraging phrases. They lose by 24 points, but Sam doesn't care at all. Of course, with all this cheery attitude and Sam being the only one feeling fine, Judith assumes Sam must have done something, but she's too tired to say anything else. Sam assures them that they'll feel better tomorrow, right? The next day, the bad news hit me like a ton of bricks. So Judith and Anna are absent from school. Are the other girls from the team out too? What if they never feel better? What if it kills them? Sam sits in class with the guilt of the fact that she might be a murderer, unable to focus on anything else. At lunch, she tells Corey about it, and he laughs. When she insists that she's serious, however, Corey stops finding it so funny. He's still a bit skeptical, though, assuming that they're probably just fine. In fact, they can ask the school nurse. Whenever you're absent, you need to call the nurse and tell her why, so let's just ask about Judith and Anna. So, first, not how my school did it. And second, I feel like that breaches some sort of patient confidentiality thing, but whatever. Of course, we can't be introduced to a new faculty member without Sam giving her a read. Her name is Audrey. She's short, chunky, bleached blonde hair, and she's always wearing baggy clothes. Audrey, what happened to Judith and Anna? Judith and Anna? They're gone. For at least a week. They have the flu or something. Yippee! At least they aren't dead. Yet. So she has 3 wishes. She can just use the second one to undo the first. Then Corey has to ruin the day with some crushing realism. How are you going to find that lady again anyway? Now lost in thought for a whole new reason, Sam has trouble focusing for the rest of the school day. She goes to practice, but everyone on the team is absent. What would really surprise me is if there's a follow-up on how strange all of this is, but I don't think a police investigation into a secretly magical biological attack from one sad girl on her basketball team will fit in the novel. So back at home, Sam has an idea. Jeffers Woods. That's where she found Clarissa. Maybe she'll be waiting for her. In fact, she has to be, and that makes perfect sense. So she goes out for a jog, but is stopped at the door when she sees Mom. It's time for your orthodontist appointment. Oh no! So she has to wear braces for 6 months, and she gets them next week. She isn't even that upset about it because she's too busy thinking of the guilt from committing wish-induced murder. In fact, she feels so bad she actually calls Judith for the first time ever. Her mom answers the phone at first, but she asks if Judith wants to talk, and she does. She can barely speak, but she asks Sam one thing. Did you cast a spell on us? How did she know? Well, all the girls are sick except for you. I think you cast a spell on us. Sam can't tell if she's joking or not, but Judith's mom makes her hang up. Sam's angry that Judith said something like that, but she can't lie to herself. She actually did cast a spell on them. The next day at school, the girls are still gone, and Corey finds some excuse not to join Sam on her trek to find Clarissa. Then, after school, the clouds roll in, resembling the storm that brought Sam and Clarissa together the first time, which Sam thinks might improve her odds. After some time, she actually finds her, near the edge of the road. "Hi, it's me!" But she doesn't answer. Moving closer, it seems Clarissa had a wardrobe change. Sam yells out, "I need to make another wish!" That's when she turns around, and it's not Clarissa at all, just some random lady. In fact, her 2 kids are right behind her throwing a frisbee. Embarrassed by that interaction, Sam apologizes and rides off. She remembers that she took Clarissa to Madison Road, hey, there we go, and so it's worth a shot to head over there. Riding against the wind, she's freezing by the time she gets there, and unfortunately, Clarissa's nowhere to be seen. Sam spots Judith's house nearby and decides to stop in, at least to get warm. Judith's mom lets her in, and Sam goes upstairs to see Judith. Despite this nice gesture from Sam, she's pissed. She immediately brings up her unit on witches in social studies class, which seems to have been incredibly inaccurate, as not only did they learn how to do spells, but she actually accuses Sam of being a witch. All of the girls at school agree that Sam was so jealous of everyone that she cast some dirty hex on them all to make them sick. She repeats this so much that it takes Sam to her breaking point. Sam says, "Judith, I never would have done it to you if you hadn't been so horrible to me." Sounds like a confession to me. Judith's mom runs in and tells Judith to calm down. She apologizes to Sam for this craziness, and Sam leaves. Outside, Sam screams out, "I wish Judith would disappear, I really do."
Very well, that shall be your second wish.
Sam spins around.
I shall cancel your first wish, and I shall grant your second.
Oh shit, I love this. I've come under the assumption in the last few years that in horror scenarios, the ghosts or murderers just really like messing with people for the hell of it. This is the perfect type of petty witch BS that makes me laugh. Of course she shows up right when Sam accidentally uses her wish as a turn of phrase. Sam yells at Clarissa to wait. She accidentally hits a stone and falls to her knees. After recovering from the pain, she looks up and Clarissa is gone. After dinner, Ron and Sam play some ping pong, the only thing Sam can actually play. Tonight, though, Ron could tell something's up. She decides that she should just tell him the truth. It's been eating her up inside. However, in classic Goosebumps fashion, she says it in the worst way possible. "I helped this strange woman a few days ago, and she granted me 3 wishes. I made a wish, and now all the girls on my basketball team are going to die." Of course, Ron laughs at this, and Sam runs upstairs in anger. Sam paces around the room trying to think of something other than all the wish business. That second wish, how unfair! She tries styling her hair like the models in the 17 magazines, but it's not helping. So, did the wish come true? She decides to call Judith's house, checking the school directory for the number again. Her hands shake as she punches the number in, and after many mistakes, it rings. After 4 rings with no answer, Sam is distraught, but then someone answers. "Hello? Judith! Who is this?" Sam slams the phone down. She's not gone. Wow! And her voice is back to normal. Wow? Relieved at this great news, she heads to sleep. When she wakes up, it's 10 after 8. Mom's always supposed to wake her up at 7. School's at 8:30. She's gonna be late. She yells around, but no reply. Dad usually leaves for work at 7, but she didn't even hear his car. No response from Ron either. His bed is made too. That's unusual. No note in the kitchen. Sam goes outside to bike to school, but Dad's car's still in the garage. Where is everybody? She calls Dad's work office, but there's no answer. Already 20 minutes late for school, but there's no one to write her a late slip. Pedaling to school, Sam starts to get angry. There's no cars, no bikes, nothing. Somehow she just assumes this is because everybody is already at school or work, and doesn't notice the fact that they probably aren't at school either. The hallway is empty, and her locker echoes loudly in the silence. She prepares her short excuse for being late, but the classroom is just like the hallway, empty. Not only that, but the work from yesterday's class is still on the board. Weird. But that's just the start of it. She moves through the hallways. Maybe everyone's in the auditorium, but no, that's empty too. Is it a Sunday? A holiday? This is when Sam actually starts to get scared. Realizing that she's the only one in the school, she grabs her stuff and runs outside. She starts to panic and rides her bike out to town. Also, like everything else, empty. Her second wish was granted, but not only is Judith gone, everyone is gone. Sam slumps down and hugs her own body. Now what? After an unknown amount of time, the eerie sounds of a deserted town and the panic in Sam's mind is interrupted by the growl of her own stomach. She missed breakfast. She starts speaking her own thoughts out loud, comforted by the ability to hear any voice, even if it's just hers. Somehow she says this is all Judith's fault. She goes home and makes herself a PB&J. When she notices the jar of peanut butter is almost empty, she wonders how she can even sustain herself. Does she just steal from the grocery store? Is it even stealing if no one's there? Sam begins to have an existential crisis at just the age of 12, but she shoves her tears away with the sandwich she just made. She turns her thoughts to Judith again, blaming her for everything with how she bullied her, forcing Sam to make these wishes. She yells out, "I hate you, Judith!" And then she stops. Footsteps coming from the living room. Is it Mom and Dad? No, it's Clarissa. Why did you do it? She smiles at Sam, appearing so much older in the bright light pouring through the window.
You did it. You made the wish. I granted it.
I didn't wish for my family to disappear. I didn't wish for everyone in the world to disappear. You did that. You!
You wished for Judith Bellwood to disappear. I granted the wish as best as I knew how. Magic is often unpredictable. I figured you would not be happy with your last wish. That is why I have returned. You have one more wish. Would you like to make it now?
Of course, Sam says yes. I want my family back. I want all the people back.
Be careful. Think carefully before you make your final wish. I am trying to repay your kindness to me. Take your time. Since this is your final wish, it shall be permanent. Be very careful.
All this witch speak makes me want to run some hags in Dungeons & Dragons. Anyway, Sam stares into her eyes and then into the crystal ball. What should she wish for? In this situation, I would maybe ask Clarissa some questions, but I'm sure she wouldn't be very open or even truthful. Here is my wish. I wish for everything to be the way it was, but I want Judith to think that I'm the greatest person who ever lived. An incredibly petty wish, though I'm not sure how it could be tricked. Her wording of ever lived could definitely get Sam killed with it being past tense. Well, the wish is granted, Clarissa disappears, and time flows back to the morning. Mom wakes Sam up in bed at 7, just like normal. Everyone's here again, and she even gives Ron a hug. Pedaling to school, Sam is ecstatic, even at the small annoyances of life. After putting her stuff away in the locker, she notices Judith and Anna arrive. Will anything be different? Morning, Sam! Judith pulls off her ski cap, and Sam gasps. Her hair, it's exactly like Sam's. Immediately, Judith starts getting real friendly with Sam, to the point where she deprecates herself just to prop her up. Anna starts getting really confused and urges Judith to go to class with her, but she just wants to carry Sam's backpack. She has the same style shirt as Sam, she wants to copy her terrible class notes, she even wants tips on free throws when she's the best one on the team. Sam finds this hilarious, but little did she know this hilarity would soon become horror. As expected, it starts to get embarrassing. Judith will not leave Sam's side, and she always talks to her, always copies her, always deprecates herself, and even at lunch, she gives her food to her. Sam notices Anna sitting alone at her table, sad, even sneaking glances over towards Judith. At one point, Judith even says she wants to get braces just like Sam will, which, there's no way you can willingly choose that, right? After school, the girls have a basketball game. Judith nominates Sam as team captain, leading to some arguments until the actual game. It ends in disaster as Judith just copies everything that Sam does. So of course, Sam finally comes to the conclusion that she messed up her wish again. At least it wasn't misconstrued, but of course, having an eternal brown noser is not fun. Judith wants to study with Sam, but luckily her family needs to visit her aunt tonight. But what about the next night? And the night after that? What does she do? After getting home, there's 4 messages on the answering machine, all from Judith. Sam's exhausted, not bothering to listen to them, and she heads to bed. She almost gets to sleep when she hears a creak. Then a shadow moves across the closet, and then it grabs her arm. The lights click on. It's Judith. Apparently the back door was unlocked, and she was waiting in Sam's closet so long she fell asleep. She wants to study, and mixes that in with constant remarks praising Sam's pajamas or the posters in her room. So Sam tells her to go home. Her parents are probably worried, and even that gets spun into a compliment. It's agonizing. So Sam manages to finally tell her she wants her to go home, and sneaks her out the front door. After a few hours, Sam manages to get a little bit of sleep. Waking up for school, Judith is already waiting for her outside, and Sam just loses it. She starts running. Where? She has no idea. All while Judith follows her, she makes it to the forest, and then she trips. Judith has caught up. But it isn't Judith, it's Clarissa again.
You are unhappy. I don't want you to be unhappy. I was trying to repay your kindness. I will cancel your 3rd wish. Since you are so unhappy, I shall grant you one more.
I wish Judith had met you instead of me. This is the perfect revenge. Now Judith will make a stupid wish and ruin her life instead. Sam starts to walk away, and then she sees Judith and Clarissa talking in the distance. She swears she can hear something about, "Bird, why don't you just fly away?" But who cares? Sam is so happy. She tilts her head and sees an earthworm in the dirt. Jabbing forward, she grabs the worm and eats it. Tasty. She flutters her wings and takes off. The breeze feels so refreshing. She looks down at Judith. She must have made her first wish. She looks so happy. Let me tell you, this is a book I don't recall ever reading or maybe even seeing the episode for as a kid, but it's awesome. It perfectly highlights the, dare I say, stupidity of kids this age. Of course, most of us know every wish story or even every genie in fiction exists to twist wishes in some way, but kids don't. Even disregarding that, the namesake of the book, "Be careful what you wish for," is more true. Sam is so hung up on Judith the whole story that she is the focus of every single wish she makes, and she never understands the consequences. When you really think about it, how much impact will Judith have past middle school to her, or even high school? Likely none. But in the mind of a child, what matters is the now, and not the future. Unfortunately, it really seems like by the end of the story, Clarissa really was just trying to repay Sam's kindness. And perhaps, in a twist on the genie wish stereotype, the magic itself was the thing causing any crossed wires on exact wording. Of course, Judith gets the final wish to turn Sam into a real bird and fly away. It's definitely possible she'll regret that choice, but will she? I will admit, grabbing that second wish to make Judith and everybody disappear was a bit underhanded, though. Clarissa, my belief in you is shaking. But will one single episode of the TV show be able to fit all of this trauma into a 20-minute time slot? Let's see. Funny enough, Haunted Mask, the last book we covered, was the first episode of the first season. Now, Be Careful What You Wish For is the first episode of the second season. So we start with some basketball practice, and there is this Chalk Jams rip-off music playing it way too loud for anyone to hear. Sam actually is pretty tall in the episode, though maybe not freakishly so, like she says in the book. Now, most of you might not know about this, hell, I didn't before even looking this up, but Sam's actress is Melody Johnson, who played in another favorite franchise of mine, Friday the 13th. She played Kinza in hit box office disaster Jason X. She blows up, but hey, at least I know her from somewhere. Sam actually picks up this red necklace off the floor with another loud sound effect. Because everyone except Corey hates her, she has to grab this basketball some kid perfectly throws onto some ropes. Well, you know Sam, always the clumsy one. Luckily, Corey is the only one who cares for her, so he puts a mat down right before she falls. Despite only having a 3-foot fall onto a mat, this knocks the wind out of her. Everybody's voice gets slowed down, and Judith is a jerk as always.
For a moment there, I thought the bird was really going to do it. To what? Fly away.
At lunch, we get a sneak peek of Corey's Padawan braid before Sam gets laughed out of the place. In this version, Sam bumps into Clarissa after school, knocking over her purse full of everyone's favorite magic objects like feathers, eggs, corn? Well, it looks like the necklace is Clarissa's. How strange it ended up in the gym. Clarissa needs directions again, this time to Moss Avenue. So of course, Sam does this great kindness, arriving at the weirdest street I have ever seen. Clarissa insists she makes a wish. Of course, Sam wishes to be the best player on the team again, but there's no real theatrics to it. No crystal ball, just that necklace from earlier glowing a little. She gives it back to Sam, making it seem like the crystal is what matters, then back to basketball, supported by our amazing stock jams. We get the outcome just like the book. Everyone sucks really bad, except for the girls who aren't really rude to her. They just cheer Sam on as she scores 1 point. So remember how half the plot of the book revolved around Sam's guilt of just this one wish and how she wanted to find Clarissa to change it back? Well, guess what? Clarissa's right here. At this point, unlike the book where she was ecstatic at the other girls being so bad, she's annoyed that her wish made the team lose. Clarissa mentions that she's got her second wish, but Sam doesn't want to make it right now. Only moments later, though, the girls are talking shit. I guess the first wish didn't make them sick, just bad at basketball. So in the spur of the moment, Sam wishes...
I wish everyone would just buzz off!
This would have been the perfect opportunity to turn everyone into bees, but too bad. Oh wait, never mind, they're flies. No kidding? I paused the episode right when they disappeared, so that was a genuine surprise to me. So now Sam is walking through the school desperately trying not to accidentally step on anybody. The whole town is filled with flies. This is devastating, though maybe at least a little bit better than everyone being completely gone. Clarissa is still at the house, and she does explain the rules. Instead of it being a genie's trick kind of thing, Clarissa just can't think past a literal meaning.
I followed your instructions as best I could. I'm not a mind reader. I do as I'm asked.
So this is when Sam makes her third wish. It's almost exactly the same, though she does say she wants everything to go back to normal from before the flies. Technically, this would still mean the team still sucks at basketball, but who knows. Judith is now obsessed with Sam just like the book, and the stock jams is back. Check out those free throws. Things continue just like the book. Sam starts getting annoyed, Judith sneaks in at nighttime, Sam runs away in the morning and makes her final wish. The ending, however, is where things change. Instead of Judith wishing for Bird to fly away, she wishes for...
that wherever I was, people would gather around and admire me.
This ends up turning her into an obviously out-of-place sculpture of herself, and I guess Sam is just fine. Honestly, I like and dislike the ending of this one. Coupled with the short runtime, you never really get into Sam's mind about things, and Judith never really seems that bad enough to be the focus of Sam's life. The final wish in the book is the nail in the coffin that despite everything, Sam still makes mistakes, giving the power to Judith because she thinks it will ruin her life, but being proved wrong and being turned into a bird. In this version, however, she's just validated. This ending does leave some interesting options, though. Will Judith be able to wish again? Is she just dead now? Do her parents know she's a statue, or has she faded from existence? I don't know. Overall, Be Careful What You Wish For is a well-written book with a nuanced character just like Carly Beth, and the episode? Well, it's fun, but maybe not nearly as thought out. What can you really do with 20 minutes of time? Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed, please like and subscribe. It makes my day to see people enjoy this hyperfixation of mine, so I'll see you in 2 weeks for the next book, Piano Lessons Can Be Murder.